penny stock billionaires, get ready. Our favorite AI gaming stock is breaking out. We're talking about Siyata Mobile. SYTA is the symbol on NASDAQ. The stock is trading right now around $1.35. And look, we've done a couple of videos where I shared with you how this could be potentially a 10-bagger stock. This $1.35 stock could be going to 10, 15, possibly even $20 a share. And here's the deal. Massive volume today. If you look at the charts, they're breaking out. Now, in case you don't know, my name is Jack Marks. I literally wrote the book on 10-bagger stocks. It's called 10-bagger Blueprint. Okay, #1 bestseller on Amazon, 10-bagger Blueprint. And in that book, I share with you my techniques for finding stocks that can make you 10 times, even 100 times your money. And over the course of my career, I've introduced investors to stocks that went up 10 times, 20 times, 50 times. Even we've had a couple of hundred baggers, including Salesforce early on, Rick's Cabaret, and Axon. The Taser guys. Taser, it used to be called Taser. Now, Siyata Mobile, SYTA, I believe could be at least a 10-bagger. Okay, meaning you can make 10 times your money if you get in right now. And again, it's not investment advice. We're not here to give you buy sell recommendations. But here is the deal. I'm going to explain to you how this stock potentially could be our next 10-bagger. In the last couple of years, I've given you guys, I think, 13, 14 stocks that went up between 1,000 and 5,000%. Now, here's the deal. Siyata Mobile is what we call a special situation, the deal is this. It is merging with a company called Core Gaming. That's an $80 million a year AI gaming company, mobile gaming, for like your phone and stuff like that, right? But they use AI to, develop these games, find goals. And basically AI is totally transforming their business, but they're doing 80 million a year in business. Business is exploding. Now they're merging with Siyata. The shareholders of Siyata, if you buy Siyata today, you're going to end up with 10% of the combined entity. Now it doesn't sound like a lot, but what you have to understand is this. The market is paying 10 times the revenues for AI and tech companies, fast-growing tech companies. You look at a company called like Apple 11, APP is the symbol, they're trading at 20 times the revenues. Now, if these guys are doing 80 million, they're going to probably do 100 million a year next year combined with Siyata Mobile. We're talking about 100 million. Let's do the math. See if you guys can do the math. Follow along with me. Now, again, I failed math, but let's see if I remember anything, right? So 10 times 100 million is $1 billion, right? The shareholders of Siyata are going to have 10% of that, meaning about $100 million. Right now, Siyata is trading at just a $6 million valuation. As of today, as of May 15th, it's about a $6 million valuation based at $1.35 a share. That means when this thing is trading at, 100 million based on, the multiple of 10x, you're going to have, your 6 million becomes worth 100 million. Again, you got to look at it like Warren Buffett. You're buying a piece of a company. So, which means if you do the math, it's about 15 times the current stock price, meaning the current $1.35. So we're looking at 15, 18, 20 bucks a share. I think it's going to overshoot. Usually these things overshoot, meaning they go a little bit crazy. So I think it might even go to 20, possibly 30 bucks a share. At that point, it's going to be a little bit overvalued, and you'll probably want to get out, take your profits. I'm saying you might want to jump back in, but what happens usually with these stocks is they tend to overshoot either to the top or the bottom. Again, if you get my book 10-bagger Blueprint, you'll understand exactly how this works. Again, I talk about this in my book. It's on Amazon, 10-bagger Blueprint, and listen, nobody else on Wall Street has introduced investors to more 10-baggers than yours truly. And this stock, Siyata Mobile, is in what I call the 10-bagger window. The 10-bagger window. What is that? Well, 10-bagger window is, usually if you look at stocks, they do nothing for most of the time, right? But there's usually a window of about 6 months to 18 months where stocks explode. You look at any stock, all the big moves. The point is the big moves usually happen within a 6 to 18 month window because of catalysts, because of valuation. I talk about the various factors. Again, it's a concept I discuss in my book, 10-bagger Blueprint. So get the book. But anyway, Siyata Mobile is inside that 10-bagger window, and it has multiple catalysts for upside potential. And best of all, the valuation is cheap. You're getting it at the ground floor. You're getting it at a $6 million valuation. Potentially, again, this could be $100 million upside for the shareholders of Siyata. the whole thing should be worth, about $1 billion plus, based on, again, 10 times revenues, 10 times the 100 million. Again, they're doing 80 million for core gaming. Siyata's doing about 10. Next year, they're going to grow a little bit, especially with core gaming. So you're going to have about 100 million. Again, just do the math. Look, it's not rocket science. Just go on Chat GPT and ask, what are the multiples, revenue multiples that tech stocks usually trade for? Ask Chat GPT. If you don't believe me, don't believe me. Ask Chat GPT, okay? Now, here's what else you should ask Chat GPT. This stock is, or I said to you, it's breaking out. Now, if you look at the chart, you look at the daily chart, the 1 hour chart, you're going to see this stock is exploding above the 50 and the 200 moving average. Now, again, if you read my book, I tell you that is the number one thing you want to look for. You want to look for stocks breaking out above the 50 and the 200 moving average, and that is exactly what is happening right now with Siyata. So, guys, don't miss out on this opportunity. You want to get in on the ground floor. Don't chase these things when they're already, up at $10 a share. Okay, again, do your research. This is not investment advice. You do have risk involved. You have M&A risk. Again, the deal is supposed to close in about 60 days. So until it closes, the stock is going to, probably bounce around somewhere between here. It could go to $5, potentially go to $5. I could easily see how it doubles in the next week or so. Easily could happen. But there's a risk involved until the deal closes. And of course, even after the deal closes, there could be risk, right? So, these are stocks. It's not a treasury bond. You know what I mean? Okay. So again, guys, check it out. Check out my book, 10 Bagger Blueprint, and here is to your 100x.